Welcome students to class 11 English classes conducted by your English teacher Munich. Before I start snapshots, please I request you all to like, share and subscribe my channel, and for other notifications please ring the bell icon. Chapter 4, Albert Einstein at School Part 3. Students, some facts about Albert Einstein. He was an average student when he born. And most important, even being from an average student, he discovered the physics most important pillar, and that was the theory of relativity. And when he died, students, one of the pathologists, Dr. Thomas Harvey, stolen his mind. Albert Einstein's greatest passion was to play violin in any condition. Hello students, welcome back to class 11 English part 3 snapshots chapter number 4 Albert Einstein at School, written by Patrick Pringle. Students, today we are going to do the rest of the part of the summary as well as a relatable vocabulary with it. Okay students, so let's start. Hurriedly, I would like to give you a synopsis or the summary, a brief short summary of the chapter. Albert Einstein was at the school when because of an argument he was left out from the class that was history class of Mr. Braun. Okay, but it was not at all what you called it, that it was only not that bad day, but it has been happening with him from a lot of days since he had joined the school from that day. It was not only the school, it was not only the diploma curriculum, but it was the lodgings of Albert Einstein that was also keeping him off from his mind. His mind was not at all settled down. His mind was really just making up plans how to get out from Munich. Okay, but he knew it very well that his father would not able to accept his visit to Milan until unless he had a proper reason for that going there. Okay, so students, now let's start with the next part of this, and this is that I stopped in my last paragraph that where Albert was requesting Yuri to provide him a doctor. And then he told him his plan that he wanted a nervous breakdown certificate, fake certificate, to get out from that Munich. So he wanted for that. But Yuri was really that surprised as well as hesitated also to tell him that why means any doctor would going to give him that nervous breakdown certificate, because means no doctor without any symptoms would going to give anything else. But Albert assured him that he was going to show the symptoms of that nervous breakdown, and suddenly means to lighten the that environment that was getting so sad. So Yuri told him that he had never seen him nervous. It was not his forte to be a nervous. Okay, so they both laughed, but Albert again assured him that he was going to do anything to get with that nervous that breakdown certificate, so that he would go back to his that father, or to Milan. Okay, suddenly Yuri knew it very well that he had to do anything for Albert. So suddenly he gave a one piece of paper in his hand, and in it he had written the name of the doctor as well as the appointment time. Albert was really very happy that Yuri had did it. A lot of thing for him. He said thanks, but suddenly Yuri stopped there and told him that he must be very honest as well as frank with Dr. Ernest Weil. Dr. Ernest Weil was, although not at all an experienced doctor, he was, he actually got his doctorate degree a part of that week only. He was now working under the experienced doctor to get a proper life training. Okay. But then also, no one could make a fool of the doctor. So that Yuri tried to convince Albert to be what he was, and Albert means assuring him again and again that he was going to handle the situation. But Yuri knew him very well, that being being a student of that temperament, outspoken temperament, that means really a very very aggressive temperament, he was not able to going to handle this lie, because he never lied in his life. He was what he was. And then that day means he was thinking about how to create a scene in front of the that Dr. Ernest Weil. Next day his appointment was there. He was sitting and he was only thinking how to fake himself out, how to fake that he was actually was not at all sound in the sound mind. Okay. Suddenly he was being called by Dr. Ernest Weil, and there Dr. Ernest Weil means started talking. Albert told that he did not know that how he would going to present his problem to him. Doctor somewhere else sensed his uncomfortableness, his weirdness with the situation. So, to provide him comfortness, he told him, or he started talking to him, and in that conversation, he told him, what students, that Yuri had already told him about his problem. Yuri requested Dr. Ernest Weil to see Albert as a student who was suffering from the nervous breakdown, and he did not want to go back to the school for any reason. Okay. Suddenly Albert was really surprised that why Yuri had told the secret that was in between them. Why? Why? Somewhere else he felt it deceived by his own best friend. But suddenly then he sensed it, and he asked that Doctor that Ernest Weil. He told him that much only. Suddenly, Doctor Ernest Weil was really himself surprised. Okay, uh, more to that is there. So then Albert told him yes, a lot. Okay, and then he told that he wanted to get back to his parents, Milan. Suddenly, doctor asked him why. Why? So he told that he was wasting the time as well as the money of his father, because he was not at all adjustable in this that sphere, in this environment of Munich. So he wanted it. And then suddenly doctor that asked him that what he would do after going there, because he hadn't had completed the diploma and no university would going to give him that any type of the that admission. But he said that he was going to take a recommendation letter from Mr. Koch, his mathematics teacher, and by that he was going to took that admission in that Italy university or college. And like this, although Dr. Ernest Will was not that much convinced, but he did not want to make him, means that he did not want to let his moral go down, so he didn't say anything. But he told him that he himself was a student, and he sensed that if a patient did not have any symptoms of any disease, they would not approach doctor. And he saw the similar symptoms in him, not at all a major symptoms, a very less symptoms. Okay. But then that's why he was giving him this certificate, that was nervous breakdown certificate. Albert was really obliged. He asked him about his fee, although he was not having any money, but then also it's a type of a mannerism. Okay, he said no, but he requested him to take Yuri out on a party because it was because of him only. So like this means although he knew it that he wasn't having any extra money, but then also that day he took Yuri for that supper, for that evening meal. Okay, and they both enjoyed. Next day he went to school. He went to Mr. Koch firstly. He asked him for that reference letter. Mr. Koch was so very much means like that he was influenced by the intelligence of that Albert Einstein. He told him, he praised him that he was such a genius man according to him, and he was really very sad that he was going or leaving the school while signing that reference letter. Suddenly Albert's ear was up. How come he came to know that he was leaving the school? Because he hadn't yet revealed the secret. Okay, so like this, means he asked him because he was an outspoken boy. He didn't keep anything inside in his mind. So what comes in his mind, that is on out of his mouth. So then Mr. Koch told that it is obvious that he was asking for reference or recommendation letter. So it's what for that he was leaving the school and he was going to study somewhere else. But then suddenly he also said one statement that even if he was not going to ask him for that recommendation letter, so he was surely was going out of the school. Again, Albert was surprised. But now Albert was not having that much of the time to ask him that question that why he was saying all these things again. Okay, but suddenly one of the voice was there who told him that headmaster wanted to see him in his cabin. He went there and he as soon as he entered the room he told that he called him to give punishment because he was lazy, he was not serious, and he was not at all hardworking student. He told many things, but one only word, that is a one statement from a headmaster, told him in a very cool voice that he was now up and away from that punishment level, because the whole of the school management as well as the teachers had decided him that he was not going to stay in that school anymore. Albert was surprised and he asked him, headmaster, that they wanted him to leave the school, and then he told yes. Suddenly Albert means was like that what crime he had done. That means he hadn't created any violence, he hadn't hurt anyone, and what else? It means that they were expelling him from the school. The headmaster said yes, whatever you want to take it, but he had to leave the school. Albert was really very much sad. But what was the reason of that? So headmaster very clearly told him that his presence in the class was the major issue, because he was so much non-serious, not at all docile, not at all representing, as well as he was an argumentative, sometimes rude, harsh, who was always giving an arguments on the system of education of the school, and no teacher wanted to teach him means when he was there in the class, because he did not let them to teach and did not let the other students to study properly. Albert was feeling very bad. Suddenly he thought of his that certificate, and he told that certificate had done hole in his pocket, and that what it means that it was not of use. He did it, he got it with his reality, but that is not of use. Suddenly he got so much out of the mind. He didn't say anything to headmaster, but only this thing: who wanted to stay here? He was leaving. So already he was leaving. He told he was already leaving. Suddenly he told them, "Okay, deal, go. No need to stay over here." And then he left out. He left forever. He didn't even watch there, means anything else. Even when headmaster was shouting out for closing the door, he didn't mind it. He went out. It was only one boy whom he wanted to say goodbye, and that was his best friend Yuri, and he went away forever with the best wishes of Yuri. Students, this was the summary. Let's see that about the vocabulary. Okay, now the first word of the vocabulary is reluctantly. Reluctantly, and that is unwillingly. Okay, Albert Einstein showed many time in the class of history how reluctant he was. Okay, briskly, quickly. Albert Einstein briskly walked out of headmaster's room. Fine. Supper. Supper means that an evening meal. Albert Einstein gave party to that Yuri as in the form of supper. Okay. Expelled. Officially make someone leave a school or an organization. Albert Einstein was expelled from the school. I hope students you might have understood this part of the video. I'll be coming back soon, students. By that time, please like, share and subscribe my channel, as well as please ring the bell icon for the further notification. These are the questions from the summarized paragraphs as assignment number 2.